My name is Megan Taslaman, and this is a very important broadcast because we have been doing quite a lot of research for my upcoming book. So I've been out of this group for a little bit because I've needed to dedicate some time and energy into researching and finding out a lot of extra resources for you guys, for my upcoming book. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about that because I am actually early for the live. And the thing is it's really interesting because it's taken on a whole new evolution in itself because it began with the idea of being a recipe book. And then it became a recipe book with a couple of health tips along the way. And then it's kind of now been morphing into a recipe book with a whole lot of mini sections, which really dive into the deeper ancient wisdoms and traditions of our whole foods and understanding how we can use them to fortify our health, to establish balance in our thyroid, right? And some of these mini sections are kind of now becoming chapters. So, yeah, it's been very, very exciting. And our goal is to have this book published this year. So, the energy of it is book 2024. That's what the folder with all the contents that's coming in is. It's called book 2024. So it's going to be published this year, and that's the energy that I'm putting out into the world. And I'm very, very excited about that. So if I've been, off the scenes for a little bit, it's because I've needed to spend some time and beautiful Shell, my assistant, has been doing a lot of the design work and the graphics because she's actually a designer, graphic designer. Yeah, it's been very, very exciting. So now we are on time. So I'm going to start this live. So if you're joining me here today, welcome. Welcome. If you're new to Thyroid Healthy Balance Group, a big heartfelt welcome to you. This is a free space where the idea is for me to impart my knowledge and wisdom and hopefully provide you with some further understanding of how you can establish wellness for your whole health and also your thyroid. So establishing balance with our thyroid, because often what I have found is the thyroid is kind of looked at as a completely separate thing to the rest of our body. And in actual fact, everything works in harmony. There's a beautiful, just like an orchestra, each of our glands and organs are a different instrument, and together, when everything's working well, it actually produces a beautiful frequency or beautiful sound. And when our body's in harmony, that's where you're going to feel amazing health. And my heartfelt wish for everybody is to really tap into what's possible for them and feel what's possible in terms of obtaining the health abundance, because health abundance is actually available to each and every one of us. And sometimes we need to just, it's our journey in life. We need to tweak, and then we need to tweak more. And, sometimes we go, oh, well, I did that and it didn't work. Well, you know what? Sometimes it requires a little bit more dedication and delving deeper into your unique health picture to establish what is right for you. Okay. All right, so hopefully, you'll be inspired by some of my live trainings if you're new to the group. And let's begin with today's topic. So today I'm going to bust the myths to avoid nutrient-rich whole foods that contain phytates, lectins, and goitrogens, which are three of the anti-nutrients, as is what they're called. And this is if you have a thyroid condition. Now, there are many other anti-nutrients. There are tannins, there are saponins, there are, protease inhibitors, like the list goes on of these naturally occurring compounds in our whole earth cuisine. And if we were to pigeonhole a food group and actually say, well, that contains that, that, and that, and I've got a thyroid condition, so I won't eat that. Well, my concern then is that you're actually doing your body a disservice, because it's not just about your thyroid. Your thyroid works in harmony and conjunction with everything else that's going on in your body, including your digestive system, your nervous system, your cardiovascular system, certainly your energy networks, and ensuring that your blood sugar is stabilized, and protecting you against the formation of cancer clumps. We've all got cancer cells in our body at any point in time. So what we want to do is prevent the disarrangement of those. And some of these foods that I'm going to be talking about today actually help to prevent that. Yeah, and actually help to fortify our body and protect us against the disharmony and disorganization of these cells, right? Because every cell is like a little tiny little mini microscopic version of you as a whole, because it has a brain, which is a nucleus, and it has the mitochondria, which is the energy, and it has the ribosomes, and I'm thinking of it chemistry 101, but it has all the little architectures which on a cellular level group together to form systems and actually help you to thrive as the complete whole organism as you are. And that's just looking at the physical component. I'm not even going into emotional, mental, spiritual right now. Yeah. Okay, let's just stay at the task at hand. Okay, so let's just what my wish is today. Well, first I just want to say this. This is not a smear campaign, okay? So there are a lot of wonderful, beautiful, gifted health professionals that do recommend not to have, legumes and grains and foods that have phytates. And for some specific people and for groups of people, that is possibly a really good idea because of their own unique health picture. So this is really about, if you've heard something that may actually be more specific to someone else, or, a group of other people, because sometimes the risk of doing this type of like one-to-many group type work is that it's not going to apply to everyone as a unique individual that you are. And it's not going to respect everyone as a unique individual that you are. However, if you've heard that, you shouldn't be having legumes or grains or nuts and seeds and, things that have the phytates and the lectins and the cruciferous vegetables that have the goitrogens, really stay to the end, because I've got some really interesting research and to share, and also ways in which that you can actually naturally reduce all of these naturally occurring compounds that do, in their raw state, work as an anti-nutrient as such, okay? And the thing is, again, if we're throwing a food out because of one thing, well, then we're actually missing out on all the other beautiful elements of that food that can fortify our health, improve our energy, help support our nervous system, help with our inflammation and all of those other signs and symptoms typical with thyroid and also with other conditions as well. And also, if you are listening in and you have a thyroid condition and you may have another health issue such as blood sugar issues, blood sugar dysregulation, type 2 diabetes, or high blood pressure issues, or you've had a few little scares with cancer, this is absolutely crucial for you to have a listen to, so that you can feel into whether this could be worth trying out for you, right? Okay. All right, so my invitation to everyone here is to explore new horizons if you haven't done so already. And certainly if you have done so, I'd love you to type it in the chat. Let me know. Do you regularly cook and eat a cuisine with legumes, with nuts, with seeds? Do you have grains? Yeah. The one thing that and I'm not going to be talking about this today. When I say grains, I'm talking about the ancient grains. I'm not talking about wheat that's been tampered with. I actually do feel and still hold the belief that wheat is probably one of the most tampered grains out of all the grains in terms of the genome, and I feel that we can thrive without it. So that's I'm not going to be talking about that today. Okay, I'm going to be talking about all the other things, because often that's what I wanted to say as well. Often, we're told what not to eat. You can't have this, and you shouldn't have that, and you shouldn't do too much of this. I mean, oh my goodness, sometimes it can be so stressful, right? And my true belief is that if you stick to Mother Earth cuisine, like foods that are grown in the soil and made with love, so we want that frequency of love to go into our food preparation as well. That's really, really important. You'll know that if you've made a meal and you've been really excited about it and you're putting a lot of love and energy and care into it, often it tastes absolutely magnificent. On the other hand, if you're like, oh, I'm so tired, I can't be bothered doing this, and you're just trying to throw something together, it, generally misses the mark. Yeah, so we want to bring that love frequency into everything as well, and that's a whole nother topic that I've been exploring, so I won't talk about that today. We'll save that for another live training. Okay, so I'm going to break it down. I'm going to break it down into the categories. So phytates, what are they? Let me just have a drink of water. Phytates, what are they? And if you're here, say hi. Please say hello in the comments, and I will and if you have any questions, please fire away. Ask any questions along this training, right? And I will get back to you. Okay. All right. So phytates, they are naturally occurring compounds in mainly legumes, but a lot of the grains, a lot of the nuts and seeds as well. And what they actually do is it's two things. What they do is they actually hold a negative charge. So in the body, and what's talked about in terms of them being an anti-nutrient, is that being a negative charge ion, they will connect with and form a complex in the digestive tract with a positively charged ion, which typically tend to be our beautiful minerals such as iron and zinc and calcium, magnesium, and copper. All right. So if they form these complexes with these positively charged ions, what that does is it binds them up and prevents their absorption across the digestive tract. Okay, so if you're already low in iron and low in calcium and all of that, and you have and if you're vegan and you're having a lot of legumes and you're not preparing them in the right manner, absolutely, that's a natural chemistry of what may occur for you. And in fact, in many cultures that have high legume and pulse diets, there can be deficiencies in things like zinc and magnesium and all of that. So here's the thing, we don't need to have legumes 100% of the time to have their health benefits. In fact, I will say that the idea is to broaden your diet so that if you're not having legumes, to bring them in, just to filter them in, to sprinkle them in through your cuisine when you're preparing them, and I'll go through preparation techniques as well. Okay. Just to really, so that you're able to acquire all the beautiful health benefits, and I'll go through that as well. All right. So that's essentially what phytates do in the body. Now, on the flip side, phytates or phytic acid, okay, so phytates is the salt form of the phytic acid. What that actually has been scientifically proven in many research studies to date, in several pharmacological experiments, in fact, is that the phytates reduce cell proliferation. They actually induce apoptosis. So what apoptosis is that's death of cell. So they induce, and this is cancer I'm talking about, so cancer cells, and they actually help to prevent or halt the differentiation of malignant cells. So a malignant cell is a cancer cell, which is kind of going wild. So what the phytates do is they actually slow down that differentiation. Yeah, so that it's really super interesting. It's like, like we've got these legumes and we're thinking, oh, we can't really have them because of the phytates, because the phytates are going to bind to the calcium and the iron and all of that. But hey, it actually helps to prevent cancer, right? And then when I dug even deeper, well, actually I already knew this, they actually help because they're such a beautiful resistant starch, and they work as a prebiotic fiber as well. They actually help to fuel our gut bugs. So fuel them, give them the food that they require to thrive, and actually improve our short chain fatty acids, which help our absorption of different minerals lower down in the digestive tract. Yeah, so that's super, super cool. That's really, really cool. So that's phytates for you. And lectins, lectins actually selectively bind with carbohydrates. So they can be really, really helpful for people that have a blood sugar dysregulation. Yeah, because they actually help to slow down that absorption. And also, again, lectins demolish cancer cells. Yeah, and they also feed the gut bugs as well. So lectins are typically found in soybeans and ground nuts, which is peanuts. Peanuts also have high amounts of coenzyme Q10. Now, peanuts also have goitrogens. So if you have a very specific, so I'm kind of going down the list. If you have a specific thyroid condition and you're concerned about goitrogens, it's actually given the name goitrogen because it can cause goiter. Goiter is like a protrusion in the thyroid gland, and that is because of the trapping of iodine, and that's what goitrogens do. Okay, so it actually traps that. So what we want to do for our thyroid, and just for our thyroid wellness and general health and well-being in general, is ensure that we are replete in iodine. So iodine is a micronutrient. We only need small doses. However, as a continent, and I have mentioned this before in past lives, past live trainings, it is quite deficient in plant foods and soils, etc. We can obtain it. The richest sources are through seafood and seaweeds. And in fact, I recommend all of my clients to swap out whatever salt they're using. And I'm telling you now, don't go for Himalayan rock salt because it's full of heavy metals, basically, and arsenic. I read cadmium, I think, as well. So what we want is some beautiful, clean sea salt. So I recommend Tasman sea salt or phytic. It's just gone from me. Yeah, I'm going to put it in the chat. It's actually, they get the sea salt from the Murray River, and actually they get the seaweed from Tasmania, and it's basically the seaweed. It's sea salt infused with seaweed, and that, if you're having that daily as a little drip feed, it's going to help to replete your iodine levels. Yeah. So if we're having sufficient iodine, the goitrogens is not a bigger problem. The other thing is you can have activated, if you like nut butter, you could swap that out for tree nut butter. I'm talking about nut butter in particular because it's in a nut form. It's not actually a vegetable where you can cook it. So cooking and soaking and all of these types of techniques release and reduce all of these compounds. Okay, So, for example, with Goitrogens, you can easily steam your broccoli, easily stir fry and steam all of your green vegetables. And we want to make sure that we're bringing those into our diet because they have the beautiful sulforaphane, which is anti-cancer, and they have all these beautiful vitamin Bs and, a wealth of minerals and a wealth of polyphenols and compounds that are really amazing, and our cells love it. So we want to make sure we're having that. Just ensure that you cook it. Yeah, so you want to go easy on things like coleslaw. So coleslaw, if you've got a goiter or if you have an enlarged thyroid or you are unsure of your iodine status, just go easy on those types of foods, But I can't imagine anyone wanting to have that every day anyway. Yeah, so it's just common sense, really. So going back to phytates and lectins, health benefits are vast, protective against type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, cancer, because they have resistant starch, and they have the beautiful polyphenols. Polyphenols, the flavonoids, and anthocyanins, so they are the darker colors, and the carotenoids. And also, if you have a really sensitive digestive system or IBS, and I've had several clients that have come through the doors last year in particular who had a lot of sensitivities to, within their digestive system. So what we want to do is we want to just, for these types of sensitive digestive systems, we want to just thread them through. We don't want to just go, okay, we're just going to have a chickpea curry tonight. Well, that might be a little bit too much, because chickpea, even if you've soaked it and pushed it to the fermentation or even a little bit beyond that, yeah, and I'll go through that in detail in a moment, they happen to be a high FODMAP legume. So for someone who's really sensitive, that could be an issue. And if someone has bloating and they still don't know and understand what's causing it because they're unsure of any type of gut pathology or so they haven't had a comprehensive gut function test, that is something that I do with every single client, providing they're willing to go that far with their health, yeah, to find out what's going on so that we can then get to the bottom of it and go through, okay? I'm talking about right now, if you've got a healthy gut and you don't have any digestive issues, however, you've heard this, that, and the other, so you're concerned about, phytates, lectins, and goitrogens in terms of it impacting your thyroid wellness, okay? All right, so it's almost like, what else are you going to eat, Like there's such a staple in my diet. I mean, I don't have them every day, so they're probably not a staple. I will have legumes 2 to 3 times a week in various ways. In recipes, I like to sometimes combine them with meat protein, good quality organic meat protein, which, can be hard to get as well. Like if you're living out of a major city like I do, it can be really hard to get. We actually took a drive, and you may have seen if you're on my socials, we took a drive to Morpeth, which is about half an hour away, the other day, and we found a fantastic butcher. They own 90% of their farms, and they none of their beef, cattle, or lamb, or any animal has the mRNA, vaccine, right? So that is really important to me because that is something that, it's not actually advertised, it's not put on the packet that, this, by the way, we gave the animal this, and this. Most of the general public don't even know about it. So, I personally don't want, I don't know what the potential impacts of that are long term, and I don't think anybody does. So, my view on things like that is, well, just try to, get food that's as clean as possible so that you can honour your health in the highest capacity for the majority of the time, I'm not saying that you don't relax the rules here and there. I had a client the other day that, she was like, well, I went out and this was served, so I decided to have this. absolutely have fun. This is not supposed to be a strict regime. We want to have fun. But if you create your actual blueprint as, for the most part, you're having this and you're having this, and that's fortifying you, and that's, and you understand the reasons why. Like, I'm a big advocate of understanding, because if you've got the knowledge and you know why you're doing this, that, and the other for yourself, it's just so much more fun. Okay, hi everyone, I'm back. I don't know what happened. I lost internet connection there. Okay, so I'm going to be really quick to get into the process of cooking so that you can understand and really, explore these different horizons with cooking legumes, right? So essentially, you need to soak them for quite a time. So I'm not a big fan of getting the canned type beans. If you're time poor and you're just wanting to experiment, you don't have any digestive systems, you may well just do that, just to check that you like the flavors, etc. However, in terms of actually honoring it for what it's worth and ensuring that you have, you're actually reducing the phytates, reducing the lectins that are actually those naturally occurring compounds in foods, and also improving the digestibility. You really want to just, tap into what they used to do back in the ancient traditions. They used to just, cover them with water and soak them for a couple of days and allow them to ferment. So the process of fermentation is actually where for example, with phytic acid, it's where the phytase, which is the enzyme that breaks down, it's activated to break down the phytates. So they're still, it reduces them considerably. And that's what the evidence and research shows. Now, you're still going to be getting a little bit of phytates. You're still going to be getting some lectins. You're still going to be getting, some tannins and, all of these things, just like everything else, right? But this is a process that will improve the digestibility and allow you to absorb all the beautiful nutrients that are available to you in these types of foods, okay? The other thing I need to mention, and this is something that we are detailing in the book, okay, in this subsection, which is becoming a chapter in the book, is that not all legumes are the same. With some are, and we're really drilling down into this. Some are high in FODMAP, some are much lower in phytic acid, and some are higher in phytic acid. And it's really, really important, I feel, that if you understand what it's all about, then you can actually isolate and understand, well, that could be what's causing a digestive upset, or it, just to really understand and pinpoint some different facts in foods, because there's no one size fits all. And I invite you to explore this trajectory just to see if it's something that feels right for you. It's certainly an opportunity to bring in so many different herbs and spices. I have so many recipes that I've created that allow you to explore all these different combinations that allow us to bring in so much more nutrition for our health and wellness, and to support our thyroid, to support our adrenals, to support our blood sugar, to help with our cardiovascular system, everything, right? So it's an invitation to explore, rather than, oh, well, I don't eat beans, so I'm not going to have those because they cause bloating one day. Yeah, maybe you didn't prepare them properly, or maybe you just got the canned bean, or maybe it was from a restaurant where probably they take the shortcuts. Okay, so once you get into a rhythm, it's actually quite simple. It's just that we actually, in our brains, in our human brains, we go, oh no, that's too hard. But like, hello, you you fill it with water and you forget about it. How hard can it be? And then the next day, when there's a little bit of scum that's formed, you rinse it thoroughly and you fill it with water and you leave it again. And then the next day you do it again. And sometimes I've actually had legumes soaking for up to 5 days because I'm still thinking about what I'm going to cook with it. I haven't decided yet. So I'll soak it for another day, and then finally I'll be inspired, by something that's grown in the garden or whatever. I go, oh, that's what I'm going to do. Yeah. So it's always exciting. and you can create so many brand new different creations. And also, if you've got a cholesterol problem, absolutely you can lower your cholesterol with, because they contain all the beautiful fibers that help, especially, sorry, nuts and seeds as well. Sorry, I'm actually mainly focusing on legumes today. However, I just want to talk a little bit about nuts and seeds as well. Nuts and seeds contain phytosterols, and they help to naturally reduce your, your bad or LDL, or very low density lipoprotein fats in your blood, and they actually help to balance out your blood sugar as well. So really, really important. Now, with nuts and seeds, I do also recommend to activate them. So when we see the term activated, what that means is it's undergone a process of being soaking for with nuts and seeds 6 to 8 hours, and then you want to dry them out. So for me, I don't have a dehydrator. I probably should invest in one of those, but I don't have one. So I just put it in a really low set oven, so 50 degrees, for about 24 hours, and it just dries them out very, very slowly, so that then they're nice and crunchy and fresh. Yeah, and then you can combine them with different spices, make a little trail mix or whatever it is that's great for you. But you'll see the water changes color, when you soak these types of things. Yeah, same with grains. So with quinoa, and the main grains that I recommend are, your whole grains and your different colored grains. So your red quinoa, your tricolored quinoa, as an example. That's actually not a grain, it's a fruit. Also different types of rices. You can get different types of rices. And a little bit of millet. Millet has a lower nutritional profile, and also it's high in the goitrogens as well. Having said that, when you cook it, you're reducing all of that anyway. But millet, it's nice. It's very easy on the digestive tract. It just doesn't boast an amazing nutritional profile compared to quinoa, as an example. Yeah, so that I'm more of a fan of the ones that are kind of super powerhouses. Yeah. So I hope this has inspired you. And if you'd like to, just to give you some more information as well with where I am at right now with my business. Clearly, I haven't been here for a little bit in this group, and that is going to change. So we're kind of, I'm writing this book, and then I'm going, I just want to tell everyone, so tell everyone what I'm researching at the moment. So that's kind of how the lives are going to come out. So stick around. And also, just for your information, the Thyroid Restoration Roadmap, what I have been doing lately, the actual program as such is under restoration. We're actually, as we evolve, as I evolve with my knowledge and wisdom and what I'm able to provide for everyone, so does the program. It needs to evolve, and we're doing it, we're restoring it, we're upgrading it, we're up-leveling it. Yeah. So that is actually not available right now, but what is available is bespoke sessions with me, which can either be in a container or it can be a single session. So if you're, needing some support, you've been dishonored by, maybe not dishonored, maybe a bit a stronger word, but you're not happy with your current GP, or you feel like you're a little bit lost for which way to go and you're not really getting the results. My invitation to you is to get in touch, and we can have a single consultation. Okay, so we can have a single consultation. This is what I'm offering you for this period of time while I'm focusing on the book and lots of other beautiful things to be able to bring to this beautiful community in this first half of the year, in terms of a brand new, reorganized and leveled up. Actually, it's really leveling up the Thyroid Restoration Roadmap, and it's going to be something that's going to be available to so many more people, right? So that's actually how we're evolving that. But yeah, for now, if you're needing support, just get in touch. We can do a single initial consultation, and then we can do subsequent consultations. And to be quite honest, I've had quite a few people that have come in through that channel just over the last wee while, you know, just for single consultation. And I have one lady that she only needed the 2 consultations and she was fine. I saw her the other day and she looks amazing. You know, she's just vibrant. And I said, what are you doing? Wow, you're looking really great. You look really vibrant and energetic. She said, I'm just doing what you recommended, but I'm actually really following it and I've really taken it on board and I'm doing it like to a T. So, you know, that's not no credit to me. I'm just passing on information that's actually available to all of us and with a little bit of inspiration as well. And she's doing the work. She's like, yep, you know, because what you get from me with an initial consultation is depth. So we really drill deep, and I actually require 3 days after the initial consult so that I can tailor a letter for you, which is bespoke. Okay, so and it's the price point is really good as well. So, you know, it's something that, you know, it might be all you need. Yeah, it's completely up to you. So that being said, I'm going to end this live now. So there's 2 parts. If you're zooming in here now, please go back and watch part 1 because I lost internet as soon as I said a certain word, I think. I lost the internet and then I've come back on and finished it. So there's 2 lives to today's training and the bulk of it is in part 1. All right. So that's it from me. Have a beautiful day. If you have any questions about phytates, lectins, goitrogens, tannins, I didn't really talk about tannins. So tannins are in like all your black teas and coffee and all of that. And, you know, they are really great for our gut as well. They do latch on to the cation minerals. However, you know, that's where we space it out. We don't have coffee or tea with the meal. We always have it at least half an hour away. So if you don't know that, that could be a game changer for you. All right. So I'm going to leave it there, as I said. And any questions, please pop it in the chat. If you'd like to have a chat, please type chat. And if you'd like to book in for a single session to point you in the right direction, please just type single session or just get in touch with me. You know, you know how to contact me. All right, that's it from me. Bye for now.